I first came to this when I was 22 and back in the Neolithic era. And I encountered Wilhelm Reich. Wilhelm Reich talked about the breath and babies. Wilhelm Reich talked about if you watch a baby breathe, the natural breath is amazing. It's full. It's low. It's not slow, but it's low and it's full. And then he said that changes. That as babies have challenges, they get scared, they get angry, or they're in tough, difficult homes or difficult experiences, the baby restricts the breath to manage their feelings and begins to shut themselves down or parts of themselves down by changing the breath from a natural flow to something less natural, more constricted. And that was my first exposure. And again, that was way, way long ago. But then there's mindfulness-based stress reduction and the research around that and how much breath and mindfulness changes the areas of the brain and all of this. And then there's polyvagal model. I will not go into all of that. I'm sure you're grateful. But that's how I came to the point where when Laurie asked me if I'd contribute, I had two answers. Okay, the first one was, and I would suspect most of you get it, are you going to ever turn her down? I mean, really? Can you really turn her down? I don't think so. And then the second reason was wanting to have to provide some small service to help some people realize that how we breathe really can change our lives, can really change and give us more freedom, more options, more choice, to move out of a survival response to the world to a more grounded, what they call social engagement. So that's sort of what led me to contribute. And besides, of course, my lovely wife. Then I wanted to tell a short story, and I wasn't going to talk about this story until I spoke with two people here about 25 minutes ago, two wonderful women. And I thought, and they suggested that I actually tell it to you. I'm going to give you a very abridged version because it's a little harsh. But about 8 months ago, I made a decision that was dubious at best. I decided to go work in a prison, maximum security prison in Washington. And I was assigned a number of folks. This is for men. I was assigned a number of men, and I had an initial meeting with this man, and I was warned by the other psychologists, this person has burned through therapists and psychologists like kindling. So, that's always a nice start. So I sat down with the person, and keep in mind, when you're in a prison, in a maximum security prison, there's immense amounts of security. Nobody can actually get to you. Okay, it's not what therapy was designed to be. Trust me, okay? So anyways, there's, closed doors and locked doors that are 4 inches thick and close electronically. There's a plexiglass window that a RPG couldn't cut through. It's solid. And I met with him the first time and I said hello, and he looked at me for a minute and he sized me up. And he said, when I'm released, I'm going to kill you. And then he told me a number of other things he was planning to do with my corpse, which I will not share with you. And I looked at him and I basically said, all right, we're going to work on that. And we did, slowly. And I used the breath to do it. Because I assumed that all this hatred and all this rage and all this fear that was manifesting in incredibly violent fantasies and language, he was in a survival response. So I would just ask him to take 30 seconds and breathe with me. And at first, of course, and when I say at first, I mean 2 months, he was reticent. So, but eventually he began to breathe with me. First, just a little. And then I would just breathe deliberately a little more exaggerated, just to have him see that I was breathing. And I think unconsciously he started to do that. And as he did, honestly, he began to shift just a little. We're not talking like became, a saint, okay? But we're just saying he just shifted a little. He threatened me less. He threatened other people less. By 6 months, there's going to be, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to back it up. His actual sentence was over 6 years ago. That sentence had been extended from his prison misbehavior. So after about 6 months, he stopped getting infractions. His sentence stopped getting extended. And for the last 2-3 months, that stayed. It wasn't some profound, pithy psychodynamic interventions. It was nothing like that. It was him feeling safer in his body. Because what we're talking about is how can we have breath be a portal to the nervous system so we feel safe. I just wanted to share that story. That is not a world transforming story. He's suddenly not going to go rushing out of the prison and be a kind of guy that's going to hang out at a really dinner table with you. Don't invite him. Okay? I'm just merely saying that if we feel safe, if we can understand that we use the breath to feel safe, if my boss is yelling at me, if my wife is upset because I might have failed to take out the garbage like I promised, we can shift that. And what we know from the research is, and Laurie mentioned it 10 minutes ago, what we know is that if I can stay grounded, if I can stay connected and safe, it's infectious. And it will help others, and it will support others. So I wanted to share that. Thank you.